Jalen Carter is not being suspended after spitting on Dak Prescott in the NFL season opener. The way the league handled it was very interesting. They are now just going to fine Jalen Carter $57,222 and announce that the ejection would count as a one-game suspension served. What's your take on, not shockingly, the NFL sloppily handling discipline? I mean, spitting on someone is grounds for literally mauling them like a human and just, I mean, absolutely throwing hands. I'm sorry. If somebody ever spit on me, like we're fighting. It's just that simple to me. What's your take on this, man?
I understand for the people who are upset about the suspension or lack thereof, I definitely do understand it. However, from the NFL perspective, it happened before a snap of football was played aside from the opening kickoff. So for all intents and purposes, Jalen Carter did miss an entire game. Yeah. So I understand the thought
he
process.
100% did.
Yes, like I
definitely don't play special teams. He didn't play snap.
Yeah, he doesn't play. So he missed the entire game. So I understand the thought process of the league of essentially suspending Jalen Carter for the game against the Chiefs would essentially mean he's been suspended for 2 games for spitting on someone. And I definitely so in that regard, I understand why the suspension didn't happen. The only thing though that I would like to mention is Nick Wright responded, and we know Nick Wright is probably the biggest Chiefs fan on the planet.
Mahomes Mountain.
Nick Wright.
I did not even click that video the other day, bro. I was like, we talk about Glaze Fest for Mahomes. This brother just made a whole Mahomes Mountain.
So
okay, Nick Wright, worst haircut on the internet.
Nick Wright mentioned on his pod today that Jalen Carter not being suspended for the Chiefs game should be enough for the masses to stop with the whole the Chiefs is the only team in the NFL that gets all these lucky breaks. And like from a Chiefs fan perspective, I understand that, but again, at the same time, you can literally look at the the last 3 to 5 years and see the team with the most favorable calls is the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's not like that narrative is just spun out of nowhere. With that in mind, again, like you said, you spit on me, it's going to take a lot of people to get me off you.
Yep. I mean, to me, when you spit on a human, you view them as dirt. Like you view them as dog poop on your shoe
on the ground. So literally. If you're spitting on me, that makes me think that you think I'm trash. So I'm taking a lot of people to get me off you.
I literally spit on the ground. I spit in the toilet. I spit in the sink. Lady hates it when I spit in the trash can, but like you spit in places where things of value are usually not placed. So when you spit on a human, what value are you placing on them?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I have no notes. I agree. But again, I think from the NFL perspective, he didn't play at all last week. It's a suspension. If it happens like later in the game, for example, if it happens in the first half, he missed the entire second, they probably suspend him for the first half of the next game, right? I think that tends to be what the NFL does generally, is take a look at the whole time served thing as to not make it egregious. This is one of few times I actually think the NFL got it right when it comes to disciplining players. Now, they can't get it right when it comes to the way that players speed and kill people on highways or beat on women or children or gambling, but that's another conversation for another day. I guess we can give the NFL a small.
Right. And see, I'm not going to get into the angle that you just got into, but I get exactly where you're coming from. It's like just the sloppy handling of it from the league. And I want to hit you with a question before I give my take. We'll have this little statement here, though. Like the early reporting that suggested a suspension was on the table, and then the league ultimately pulls it back. They called the ejection, the fine, and the ejection and the fine, it's discipline. So that shift from suspension possible and a fine to, okay, the ejection now counts as a served game is very interesting. A lot of people are very convinced that Dak Prescott spit at Jalen Carter first. What's your take on that?
So I did see the video.
Oh, me too.
I can understand the thought process because Dak spits and then he looks at Jalen Carter, like gives him a nod and smiles. It definitely makes it look like he was spitting in the direction of Jalen Carter, like he was rage baiting. However, at the same time, Dak Prescott doesn't strike me as a person who would spit in the direction of someone.
No.
Like if Dak Prescott wanted to spit on Jalen Carter,
He
I
would have
think
spit
he
on
would have
Jalen
just
Carter like
spit on
Jalen
Jalen
Carter fucking
Carter, like
spit on
Jalen
Dak.
Carter spat on him. I think that that's what would have happened. I think I actually believe what Dak Prescott said. He was spitting just kind of over his lineman's shoulder. He looked up and he saw Jalen Carter, gave him a nod and a smile. Now, what I will say, because I say this to my kids at work all the time, I work with middle schoolers. Even if Dak Prescott did spit in the direction of Jalen Carter, the refs didn't see it. What the refs
Right.
did see was Jalen Carter hawk a loogie on the chest of Dak Prescott. Like, it's not like it happened behind his back, like it happened. And what I tell my kids at work all the time is, generally speaking, a kid might hit you or throw something at you or say something to you, and I might not see it. If I hear you curse at them or call them out their names, or I hear you slap them back, yeah, you're going to be the one that gets in trouble first because I
The
heard you
one
or
who
saw you
laughs
do it.
last laughs loudest.
Yeah. The second reaction is always the reaction that gets in trouble. So even if Dak did spit in
It's
Jalen
never the
Carter's
instigator.
it's never, which, and again, I don't think Dak instigated. I genuinely think Dak needed this. He's a football player. They spit all the time. I think he legitimately just spit it on the ground, looked up, said what's up to Jalen Carter. But given where Jalen Carter is from, both childhood wise and also the school he went to, I can
He's a Georgia
absolutely
Bulldog. He is
understand.
representing the city of
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
I can absolutely understand how Jalen Carter could take that as Dak spinning in my direction. But again, I I I could never fathom even thinking of spitting on another human being. Like, that's just how I was raised. I would never think, even if someone spit in my direction, I would never think I'm going to spit on you. Like that would just never happen. So it's an interesting thing for sure.
It's literally the lowest form of human action I believe you can commit. And then obviously way down low is like the R word, the M word, the H word. Like, we're not going to say that for terms of being censored, but like, spitting is a very, like, again, to me, if you have the gumption, the lack of couth, the balls to spit on another man and hawk Tua on that thing, like he literally did on Dak's chest, like, kudos to Dak Prescott for holding his cool. Kudos to Dak Prescott for holding his cool. And I'll just go out here and say this. If you're really trying to say that Dak Prescott spitting at the ground by his offensive lineman was him starting it, antagonizing it, being the instigator, spitting in Jalen Carter's direction, I genuinely wonder how you deal with conflict in your life when you have peer pressure and other people around you just trying to get you to make a decision. And because we live in the world of and, not but or, and Dak Prescott quite literally rage baited Jalen Carter into the reaction that he wanted. He got him tossed. I am baffled by the amount of people that are literally saying Dak Prescott started it. Yeah, did Dak play it well? For sure. I believe he knew with Jalen Carter standing outside of that huddle. And then when Jalen Carter started to chime in and he started trying to chirp at Tyler Smith, who is an offensive lineman as a rookie, Dak stepped in to defend his guy, stepped through and said, "What's up, bro? Why would I spit at you? We're literally about to compete." And unless Dak Prescott is just giving us the best cover up of his life, Dak Prescott is literally America's quarterback. Like, he is the perfect podium quarterback, the character. When do we ever really discount Dak Prescott for who he is as a human, right? As a quarterback, clearly. But when he's at the podium, when he's being interviewed, outside of saying, "Oh, I feel like we could hang with the Eagles," which, hell, when Jalen Carter gets tossed and you ain't got Micah Parsons and you come out in the season opener on Thursday night, his claim was kind of valid. But I just can't believe that people are literally trying to justify the lowest level of respect I've seen in a while between two professional athletes, not just two NFL players, and say that Dak Prescott started it. Let me give you my take on this just entire situation, though, before we really get out of here. Yeah, so you have that early reporting coming in, like, yeah, it's leaning towards a suspension. Obviously, we knew he was going to get fined. I think the 57,222 is absolutely hilarious. That has to be a percentage of something, right? Like, what an odd number. There are
Yeah.
no clear prior NFL cases where a player was suspended specifically for spitting in a game and missed additional games for it. Historically, spitting incidences in pro football have led to ejections and fines, obviously public backlash, vitriol. We understand what social media can do, but not the kind of multi-game suspensions that we see for other violent PED related offenses. We've seen Rashee Rice. We've seen guys like Ray Rice suspended for the personal conduct, for driving, for PEDs, like not specifically those guys with PEDs and everything, but you guys get the example that I'm throwing out there, because the league framed it as an unsportsmanlike / non-football act. The defense of the quarterback safety and the sports image really matters for the National Football League. Like, we know that. And it's really a PR angle because the NFL wanted to control and make an example without removing a top defender from the product, which naturally cost them ratings, which naturally cost them the game. The NFL had to punish to protect the game, but not so harshly to where it cost the fans the player the following week in the Super Bowl matchup. And, the NFL played this one perfectly, right? The fine, great. Who are we to say that 57K might be enough? Because that might not be enough. That's a lot to me. I'm sure that's a lot to Jalen Carter.
I think that's
Do
how much
you
money
think
I
a
make in a
loogie's
year.
worth $57,222 on the chest of Dak Prescott who makes $60 million a year? I guarantee you Jalen Carter and his family and his friends do not believe so. But it's not even about his family and friends. It's about Jalen Carter and what he truly believed was worth it in that moment. So, again, they played it perfectly because the fact that Jalen Carter did it when he did and got tossed literally after the opening kickoff, yeah, you can easily say that it was a suspension served. And they did not want to take him away from the Super Bowl matchup that we already mentioned is pretty crazy earlier in the year, not a primetime game, only time where two of these quarterbacks have beat each other in a Super Bowl, and now they're meeting in the regular season. Again, the NFL punished Jalen Carter. They fined him. They counted the ejection as his one-game suspension. But like the bigger story isn't about the dollar amount. It's really how the league changed the playbook without changing the rule book. You see what I'm saying, Marcus? Like, they changed the play, but they still got the same result. They just drew the X's and O's up a little differently. Like, you can argue that Jalen Carter paid the price, but because he was out of the game, like he didn't play. But the optics matter because you hear suspension and then you get the fine. Oh, and the fact that we threw him out early. Okay, now that's it. That's a precedent that the NFLPA will more than likely want to spell out for future incidents, or beginning of game ejections. Like how do we really handle this, right?
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.